A mother of three vanished on January 7th, 2021. No body was ever found, no physical evidence of a murder. Nothing. But her husband is sitting in a courtroom right now facing first-degree murder charges anyway. And the evidence prosecutors are using to put him there is unlike anything you have ever heard in a murder trial. Spell books, emails to spellcasters, a surveillance video of a car backing out of a driveway at 1 a.m., and a phone that went completely silent and never turned on again. This is the bench report, and this trial started today. Let's go inside. Before we talk about what happened in that courtroom today, let's talk about who Maya Millett was, because she deserves more than just being a case number. Maya Millett was a 39-year-old mother of three from Chula Vista, California. She and Larry Millett married on May 12, 2000 in Honolulu, Hawaii, when they were just 19 and 18 years old. They had three children together. By all accounts from her family, Maya was a devoted mother who had plans. Plans for her children, plans for her future, and plans to leave her marriage. Investigators said the couple had been having marital issues dating back at least a year before Maya's disappearance. Things had gotten bad enough that Maya had taken a significant step. She had contacted a divorce attorney. Maya had made plans to go to Big Bear for her daughter's birthday and had also made an appointment with a divorce attorney who saw red flags and asked her to come in the next day. She never made either of those appointments. On January 7th, 2021, Maya Millett was seen for the last time near her home in Chula Vista. She has not been seen or heard from since. Here is where the prosecution's case begins to take shape, and it starts with a surveillance camera and a timeline that raises serious questions. Cell phone activity for Maya terminated at 1:25 in the morning at the house. Surveillance video shows Larry backing his Lexus SUV into the driveway, pulling it into the street, turning it around, and then leaving. The prosecution says Larry was gone for 12 hours. Upgrowth 12 hours. No explanation. No alibi that holds up. When Maya's family became concerned after not hearing from her all day, her brother J.R. came to the house and asked where Maya was. Larry said he had been out in the desert all day with his son, that he had gotten into a fight with Maya and didn't believe he was invited to Big Bear, and that Maya was probably in her room. Maya's other brother and father then showed up and waited. They got into her room only to find she was not there. Larry said she must have gone on a hike. Gone on a hike, with no bags packed, no phone activity, in the middle of the night. Larry Millett reportedly told Maya's brother he had been at work and had not heard from Maya, but then later changed his story. Changing your story when your wife is missing is the kind of detail that prosecutors love and defense attorneys dread, because juries remember it. Now here is the part of this case that nobody who hears it ever forgets. Months before Maya went missing, Larry Millett had sent hundreds of emails to so-called spellcasters, asking them to make Maya fall back in love with him or incapacitate her, so she would become dependent on him. Read that again. Hundreds of emails to people he believed could cast spells on his wife. Among the spells Larry sought were ones he believed could make his wife love him, while in other instances, he sought to have his wife injured, sick, or suffer from nightmares, either as a form of punishment or so she would be dependent on him. And then there is the detail that changes the entire picture. Prosecutors said he ceased his requests for any spells to be cast on his wife after she vanished, nor did he take part in the numerous searches for Maya in the months that followed. Think about that. A husband whose wife goes missing, and he stops searching for spells to bring her back. He stopped searching for her, period. No searches, no vigils, no public appeals. Police found spell books in the house when they arrived to search it. The prosecution says Larry was trying to keep his wife in love with him by casting spells from these books, desperate to keep her from leaving him. They also found a letter from Maya to Larry, in which she says she wants to leave him and find her peace without him. A letter in her own handwriting saying she wanted to leave, combined with hundreds of emails to spellcasters asking for her to be made sick or injured so she could not leave. That is the picture prosecutors are painting for this jury right now. Here is the enormous legal mountain the prosecution has to climb, and why this case is so legally fascinating. Without a body, the case is largely based on circumstantial evidence. No body, no murder weapon, no forensic evidence directly linking Larry to a killing. Everything the prosecution has is circumstantial, which means they have to convince 12 jurors that all of these pieces of evidence together point to one unavoidable conclusion beyond reasonable doubt. Defense attorneys told jurors there is no evidence a murder occurred, and claimed Maya was living a double life. That is the defense strategy. Maya left voluntarily. She was having an affair. She chose to disappear and start over. And you cannot convict a man of murder when you cannot prove a murder happened. It is not a crazy argument. It is actually the strongest argument available to them, because the burden of proof sits entirely with the prosecution. If even one juror believes there is a reasonable possibility that Maya is alive somewhere by choice, Larry Millett walks free. Prosecutors said there is no evidence to suggest she is alive or voluntarily abandoned her family. 3 children, a birthday trip she was planning, a divorce appointment she had set up. Prosecutors will argue that a mother who loved her children and had concrete plans for her future does not simply vanish by choice. They will spend the next 3 months making that argument piece by piece in front of that jury. This trial started today and is expected to last 3 months. That means the bench report will be covering every major development as it happens. Larry Millett faces up to 25 years in prison if convicted on the murder charge. He has pleaded not guilty and maintained his innocence. He also faces a separate charge of illegal possession of an assault weapon, which adds another layer to an already complicated case. The 3 children Maya left behind are now in the custody of her sister after a separate legal battle to remove them from their paternal grandparents. Those 3 kids are going to grow up with the outcome of this trial, defining what they know about what happened to their mother. No body cases are among the hardest to prosecute in the American legal system, but they are not impossible. Prosecutors have won them before when the circumstantial evidence is overwhelming enough. The question this jury has to answer is simple, even if the answer is not. Is a man who sent hundreds of emails asking spellcasters to injure his wife, who was captured on camera leaving his home at 1 a.m. the night she disappeared, who changed his story about where he was, who never searched for her, and who she had just told she was leaving, is that man guilty of murder beyond reasonable doubt? That answer comes in 3 months. We will be here every step of the way. Maya Millett has been missing for over 5 years. Her body has never been found. Her 3 children are growing up without her, and today the man accused of taking her from them finally sat down in a courtroom to face that charge. This is the Bench Report. Subscribe so you do not miss a single update from this trial as it develops over the next 3 months. And drop in the comments below. Do you think prosecutors can win a murder case with no body and no physical evidence? Let me know where you stand. Court is adjourned.